Welcome back to Fast Guard News. I'm Roderick Payne, as you know, and we always speak about security guard services on the channel. Fast Guard News is all about the lifestyle of security, things that you're going to do with the way we live with security, what you may go through, what job hunting may look like. And today, I'm here with my guy from the House of Fain Podcast, Kevin Fain. And, you know, we're going to get into a little bit of what he goes through, because it seems to be every time we do an episode, like the biggest episodes are the ones about Bodyguard. A lot of the biggest requests that we get are about Bodyguard.
Yeah. I feel like it's that way because that's the most exciting. That's what you really see on social media now. Everybody's seeing the exotic places that you go, the private jets. You know what I'm saying? So nobody really wants to hear working at a contract job site far as residential clubs, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. Even though they still make great money.
Correct.
But the excitement and, you know, traveling and seeing the world, that's what people want to see. And that's all they do see on social media. So everybody wants to jump and go straight to that. And I let people know it's not easy as it seems, and there's a lot to that that they don't see. There's a lot of extra work that people don't really see.
Correct.
You know?
What led you in the beginning getting into like the Bodyguard thing?
Well, I kind of stumbled on it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was actually working at a club, strip club that is, and I have really good customer service skills, and I just every day I was working hard. You know, I would talk to everyone, greet everyone. And then one day, you know, I came across this one guy, and I noticed that he was somebody. I guess he was very important because, you know, all the women would get ready when he come into, you know, when I would come and see him, and he would text me, "Hey, I'm pulling up." I would make sure he has the best parking spot at the front. I'll make sure he has the same table. Make sure it's the girls that he wants. You know, so I would
get him set up.
So I would cater to him that whole time, not knowing really who he was. So you know, gradually as he came throughout the months, we built I don't want to say a friendship, but some type of a bond. You know, some type of a bond. To where one day he asked me this weird question, and he was like, "Hey, can you travel?" I was like, "What do you mean?" You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand what that meant. I'm like, "Yeah, I travel." He was like, "Can you travel?" He was like, "Do you have a passport?" And at that time, I didn't. I never traveled the world at that point. I never needed it. I said, "No, I don't. I never travel, you know, outside of the country or anything like that." He was like, "Well, can you get one?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." He said, "Listen, man, I've been watching you for a couple months. I love the way you move. You know, I love your social skills, how you talk with everybody, you de-escalate situations and everything like that. You're not just that aggressive guy. And you have a good look. You have that eye candy look. You know, so." He said, "Listen, I would like to offer you a job opportunity." And the job opportunity it wasn't even him, it was for his boss. And he was like, "But there's one thing." He was like, "Look, let's set up a meeting tomorrow. I'm going to take you to meet the person that you'll be working for. If it goes well, you will have to leave." It was on Monday he told me this. We were going to do the thing Tuesday. We were going to meet up Tuesday. So he was like, "Yo, if he likes you, bro, we leave Tuesday night." He's like,
No
"So I know you got
time.
a job." I said, "I know you work at this club, man." He was like, "Bro, but this is you know, this is one of these situations where you got to choose right then and there." And so I did do the meeting or whatever, and the guy liked me. And the crazy thing was this: who it actually was, I don't really speak. I'm not even gonna speak of who it was, but he liked the way I moved. You know, he liked the way I talked. You know, we sat down and talked for a while, and I was shocked at that point. I'm not gonna say I was starstruck, but I was shocked of who it was, because when I sat down, I was like, "Damn, I didn't expect to come and sit down and talk with this person." You know,
Not from a strip club to
no,
that.
not
That's
to
a big
that. To that.
transition.
I'm thinking that it's gonna be like some executive guy or whatever, but I came and sat down with like a big industry person. You know, so he said, "Yeah, I like you. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and go forth with this." And, you know, the guy that put me on, he was like, "Look, man, you need to call your boss and tell him what's going on." I told my boss. He actually understood. I was like, "Yo, but this is a once-in-a-lifetime situation." took that chance. I took that leap of faith, and then I've just been going up since.
And so that was like your intro. So that's really how
was,
you got into it.
That's how I got into it. It was no, it was very different the way that it is now, because when I got into it, there was no social media, so we didn't even see nobody working. I would only catch people working when I was at Live. I would see, bodyguards come in at Live, or we had another, story. We see, bodyguards coming with their clients, and we weren't seeing shit on social media. There was nobody showing no shit in Facebook.
Security guards is not really like a glorified thing. I think me and you the only ones that's kind of doing it. There's a couple other brothers out there that's trying to do it, but
absolutely,
I mean that's it. To tell the inside of it, working in nightclubs, especially in Miami, you meet a lot of people.
Absolutely,
the bodyguard thing is, like I said, it's exceptional. Being in the gym is a big part of it. Like lifestyle-wise, what do you think people need to get prepared for? Because cats think they're going to eat potato chips all day and then go out and be somebody's bodyguard.
So I feel like there's different levels to it, all right? It's not just the gym, but one thing I want to tell people, and this is just a grain of it, I don't want people to take this and let this shit go over their head. Mm-hmm. For people to acknowledge you, because everybody's just not going to see what you got on paper. You can look immaculate on paper. Mm-hmm. You can be like, yo, I've been on SWAT, I did this and that. But some people don't want to see that. They want to see,
What's your command presence?
Yeah. So my first presence was I was the eye candy. Mm-hmm. They looked at me like, damn, hold on, this dude do something. He playing ball, he doing something. Mm-hmm. So I created that presence right away. Mm-hmm. Once you create that presence, and then you can introduce yourself of all the other assets that you have. Mm-hmm. Now the games became so high level that people are getting all type of advanced training, which is great. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, it was no really advanced training like that. So I do bump heads every now and then with guys, especially new guys, that they do those advanced courses. Mm-hmm. And I tell them, I say, yo, I respect those courses that you guys do. Will that shit work for me? Mm-hmm. No.
How often are you gonna get into a situation where you can use some of that advanced training? How often are you getting in shootouts as a bodyguard?
Well, I'll tell you like this: I got in more shootouts at the club than me and a bodyguard. But there's a lot of things that's disclosed. But I've gotten to like a couple of situations,
as a bodyguard,
as being a private security. Mm-hmm. I can't really go outside of the box and talk about. Mm-hmm. But in regards to that, being prepared for it, listen, I feel like you're never going to be fully prepared.
No.
You're never going to be fully prepared. There's people I've seen that they train, I'm not saying they train their whole life, but I've seen people that they would train day in and day out, and a situation happened and they freeze.
They put in work and then can't do nothing with it. That definitely happens. I've seen that on several occasions. The biggest thing with it is like, I think the command presence helps a lot because I never really got engaged. I'm not the biggest guy, but as a law enforcement officer, even in the club, I never got engaged like that a whole lot. I seen some guys get straight stroked, knocked completely out in the club. And I never understood that. Like, why would you get up on somebody like that? But like, it definitely helps when you work out.
Yes, it does. But like I said, I feel like the way it is these days, I feel like the workout is just like I said, it's a grain of salt. I think you have to have other skills. Like you got to take up some type of skills, like far as boxing. Mm-hmm. I think mixed martial arts is great because I think when you get into these situations with some of these people, instead of punching them in their face and leaving bruises, if you have these takedown moves that you can sit down and subdue them without creating any bruises,
just get out
perfect.
of it.
That's why I say those. That's why I admire those guys that either if they're in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, how they do their takedowns to where they don't leave no trace, no marks. Mm-hmm. I mean, and people boxing too as well is great, but when you're boxing, you're leaving some bruises.
I mean that in the end, a client wants you to be there just in case something happens. And then if something does happen, how you going to react to it? You know what I'm saying? So being able to throw your hands is 1,000% going to help.
Yes,
being able to move around, wrestle, 1,000% going to help. But I think the most important thing from a bodyguard aspect is moving your client, right? You want to try to verbal judo and pull up out of there if it's going to be some problem.
I think verbal judo is really the number one rule. If you got that, I call it the gift of gab. If you got that, I'm telling you, who goes
that's a big thing.
Yeah, I think that's the number one rule over any type of combat. marksmanship of doing firearms or anything. I think that verbal judo, if you have that, and there's people that don't have that. They have all the other traits, but they don't have that.
They can't talk.
They can't talk, bro. And they, man, those are the ones that you got to be careful with. I think it's better to have, when you have someone like that, is have another guy beside them that knows how to talk.
Control them, yeah.
He's a good guy, bad guy.
You need a handler.
Yeah. The good cop, bad cop situation. So, yeah.
Yeah, now, a lot of the guys get you don't want to be a liability. We talked about that when I came to your part. It's more about you. It's almost like customer service.
Yeah.
Working with clients, I believe, is it's to a great deal customer service. You got to know how to talk to people. You got to know how to kind of satisfy their needs when it comes down to how they want to move, what they want to do. And you got to be understanding. Remember, you're not on your time. You're being paid to be there.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people can't handle the, hey, man, we're going to be in the studio. We're going to be out here for 12 hours just sitting here.
Yes. One thing I did, I'm going to backtrack a little bit because I did skip something. One thing that did help me tremendously with my social skills was me being in law enforcement. Not a lot of people knew that I was in law enforcement. I came in at a young age. When I got out of college, I got in at like 24. But dealing with, before I got into law enforcement, I wasn't really a social guy. I was a very quiet guy.
Really?
Yeah.
You played football, right?
Yeah, I played football, but I was still that quiet guy. You know, I wasn't that loud. No. I was still that quiet guy. When I got into law enforcement and I was forced to speak because I wanted to be in that, and I realized like, oh, damn, it's more than just a badge and a gun and driving around. You have to really de-escalate situations.
Got to be able to talk.
And then when I was on my field training, I don't know if it's set up the same way. I know there's 5 phases. Is it still 5 phases? Okay, so I know
The last one is shadow phase.
Yes. So I don't know which phase I was in. I want to say I was in my second phase because I know it was a woman though. She was more of the verbal. The first one was more of traffic. It was simple. But when I got to my second phase, that's when I noticed I was doing a lot of talking. She would kind of like push me out there and like, okay,
handle this.
Yeah, it'd be a whole domestic situation going on. And I would be nervous, man, because I ain't never been in that situation before. Like, I'm used to like, okay, if these two don't calm down and I see them fighting, I'm going to start fighting.
Yeah.
So I had to learn. So I had to learn how to do de-escalating skills. So that was the first beginning of me learning the verbal judo, and then I transferred that to when I worked at the club, even though that sounds like I kind of went backwards coming from that to that. But that's just how
tell a complete story.
Yeah. So that's how everything transpired from that. So.
And then like with some of the biggest people you've been with, like how is it working crowd control to somebody that's like a platinum artist or somebody that people gonna be running up screaming? Like, is that a little different?
Yeah, man, it's very stressful. I feel that when you work with iconic artists, I feel that, especially when you're working in crowds, I don't feel that that person should have one guard because it's impossible for you to watch their 12 and their 6. Either you're leading or you're watching them from behind, and then you don't know what's going to happen, and you
walking through a sea of people.
Because I've had a client to where he would just want one person. I was that one person, and we'd be going to clubs, live, and all this stuff, and I would be leading. And I'm leading, and he would stop, drift off to the side, go to here.
You can't even get in, you can't even find.
And then it came to a point where I was behind him because when he starts drifting off, you got to come back to him, and then you end up being behind him, and he's in front of you. So I'm trying to guide him, hold him, keeping people, but he don't know where the hell he's going. So I feel like when you have those type of artists, you got to have a 2-man crew. On most locations, like if you're going to clubs. Or any type of place where it's a lot of people, So I always advise any client that I have that's high profile like that. I always advise them to have 2 people that I know they're going to be in those crowded areas.
So like 2 for 2. What would be 2 things that you would tell clients when they're looking to hire bodyguard service or executive protection, and what would be 2 things that you would tell a new bodyguard or a new person coming to do executive protection, coming in the game? What would you tell them to prepare for? So 2 things from the client perspective. If I'm a client and I'm calling you about bodyguarding and I'm giving you a chance to educate me, so tell me what is bodyguarding, or what What are 2 things that I should look for when I'm trying to hire someone to be my bodyguard?
Well, I'll tell you like this. It's very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to always constantly be competing with people. You're never going to keep a client. Don't think because you're with that client, even if you sign a contract with that client for a year, don't think that you're secure with that client. There's always going to be competition and people out there trying to get that client. So you always got to stay 2 steps ahead. So you got to find, I tell people, you got to find some type of angle. Like, for example, if you're trying to get a client, you're trying to promote yourself or whatever, let's say you're a regular size dude. Let's say you're just 6 foot. But you're coming in, you putting in your resume to get this one client, but then you come across another guard that's 6'7", who look like a wrestler, puts in his resume. Okay, now how you gonna weigh that out? How are you gonna outbeat him? Because he's already got the eye candy. They already looking at him crazy, like, yo, this guy.
Off strict size.
That's when you start getting your credentials and everything. That's when you start putting your resume, like, you know what I'm saying? You start showing that what you have that this other person doesn't have. That's what, I had to do that a couple times because there was guys way bigger than me, they with the eye candy or whatever, and I'm like, yo, well, do they have this? Do they have law enforcement background where they're able to do this, X, Y, Z? Also, did they get their credentials in, I don't want to say Homeland Security, but what was that? I can't think of what that.
Secret Service?
No, not that Secret Service. It was below that. It was not Homeland. It was connected to Homeland Security, but it wasn't like ISIS or anything like that. But anyways, I went to school. I did my certification for that too as well because I was trying to get into that.
Maybe FEMA? No,
it wasn't FEMA. It was bro.
I can't remember.
It's
a lot of certifications.
Yeah, it was a lot of certifications, and at that time they only had picked prior law enforcement and prior ex-military. And you had to go to school. It was like a month. You had to be in school with them. You had to do the shooting. Shooting course was actually harder than the damn police academy, which was kind of crazy to me. But basically, what you got to do is you got to sit there and dissect what you have that other person doesn't have, and you got to fulfill that. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be very assertive and very on point. And I think listening skills is what's really most important, dog. Because sometimes I've came across clients, and this is a true story. And it's mostly executive guys. Executive guys are very organized, very on point. Not so much artists. They talk very fast, and they give you that information one time.
If you got to keep asking. Hold on. What'd you say?
You get it all in that one point, and you better pray to God. You know what I'm saying? You got all the information with you, and you got to execute with that shit. But like I said, at the end of the day, that just builds your experience and just builds character and makes you get bigger and bigger clients. That's what happened with me.
So basically, you got to be likable,
yes,
and you need to be able to explain why you're the better guard on paper and in real life. So, what would you tell clients? Like, if a client, I come to you, hey man, what should I look for? I'm trying to hire a guard, but I want monsters. I want somebody to be 7 foot, this and that.
Yeah.
What would you tell them? Like, what would you tell me if I called you looking for that? You're a company. Hey, I need 7 foot tall guys. How would you work me around that? Because everybody just doesn't have 7 foot tall guys.
Yeah, I get that all the time. I said, other than them being, 6 foot, 7 foot tall, what do they have to offer other than shadowing your body? What would happen if a shootout happens? Is that person certified to carry their expectations that get you to safety? Or are they just going to sit there and just be a bullet catcher? Because that's what a lot of people didn't go. That's what my homeboy, and this is my homeboy. My homeboy is 6'5", and he just got hired at the police department in Atlanta. And he would say, yo, dog, he's like, bro, everybody that tries to do it like that, these clients that just keep trying to hire the big guys, the tall guys, he's like, yo, bro, we call them the bullet catchers because, and I'm not going to sit there and saying everybody that's that tall. That's
1,000%.
But it's like, yo, is that all you have to offer?
Man, did you see the big boy that was, I think he was in L.A. on Rodeo Drive. Guy got robbed for $300,000 chain.
That's a delicate, I know that person personally.
Oh, you know him?
Yeah. It's a delicate situation. I know him personally.
And that's what he said. He said, where's your gun?
Yeah.
He was like,
so we know how the laws are over there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a little bit different in Cali, yeah.
Yeah, you can't. If you're coming, he's from Cali though. Mm-hmm. That's the fucked up part. That's kind of.
He probably just a lot of cats don't want to walk around with that strap. It depends on where you at. You know what I'm saying? You going in and out of spots. Yeah. You don't want to have to go take the gun out. I get it. But that's what the guy said. The guard said, "Hey man, he had a gun." He was like, "Where's your gun?" And that should have been discussed prior to doing the event or going somewhere. Hey, I'm gonna be wearing a $300,000 chain. Yes. Okay, well, let me come ready to protect $300,000 as well as the individual. So that's what clients are always going to ask for unrealistic expectations. And we get asked all the time for John Wick. Yeah, I need a guy to look like John Wick. Like, okay, let me find him. Yeah. The reality is you can only deliver what you can deliver, but you have to set that expectation realistically, because if I tell them, I'm 7 foot tall and I show up and I'm 5'11", they're like, man, hold on, that's not what we paid for. Yeah. We like to be as forthcoming as possible, and that's why I want to always know from a client standpoint, what would you ask if you're trying to hire somebody professional? Because there's a lot of guys on the internet. There's a lot of guys on Instagram. Like, I see some guys, man, they wear the uniform and they do all this stuff and they do all the shooting. And then I call guys off the internet. Like, sometimes we need specific type bodyguards. Hey man, we submitting the bid. You want to jump on this? And they tell me, man, I don't really do security for real. I just shoot and move around on the thing.
I've seen some crazy shit. I've seen people be on social media. Mm-hmm. First of all, you don't, doing these Kodak pictures with clients. Mm-hmm. Let's just put it this way. I've caught a dude because he was orchestrating his social media so well, you know what I'm saying, that how he was looking like he was working with these clients, to where the whole time he was nothing but I don't want to say nothing but he was just working security at a club, but he was just catering to that guy.
He's
catering to the real security guy, but he was finding ways to get himself involved in pictures to where he can sell himself.
Speaking of pictures, how do you ask a celebrity if you're working a bodyguard detail to take a photo?
Bro, that's number one.
Do you do that?
That's no. That's a no though, man. I'm gonna tell you like this, Doug, because social media is the new wave. Mm-hmm. All that resume shit on paper doesn't exist no more. Mm-hmm. People want to see what you can do. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to show that you're working, but there's other ways of doing it. First of all, you don't take these Kodak pictures like, yo, can I take a picture of you? And then no, you don't, because I see people do it. People prop their shit. They'll have somebody recording from afar. Hey, record this when I'm walking through with this client. No, you don't do it like that. We, real people that's doing this type of work, we really see through that shit. Bro, the time's gonna come. You're gonna be on camera regardless. Mm-hmm. He's a celebrity. Somebody's gonna catch you on camera.
Get pulled from that
in the movement, showing that you're working. They see that you're working. That's when then you post that and then you promote your stuff like that. But I never tag no clients though. That's number one. I don't tag clients. No clients.
I mean, I've seen people do that. I've taken a couple pictures with cool people, but they asked me. Yeah. Slick Rick, I did a picture with him with all the chains on. He asked me, he was like, hey, man, come on, man. You work hard tonight. Kelly Rowland, she said, hey, you want to get a picture real quick? Yeah. Cool.
Well, let me ask you a question. Is those pictures that's something for yourself? Or that's something that you want to put on social media?
It was taken before we went in. Like, it was cool, took the pictures, but I really didn't know where to post it. Like, at that time when I was taking those pictures, I was still a police officer. So I didn't really want to be on social media. I just really started social media. Like, all this is brand new to me. Yeah. And I understand what you're saying. It's like people want to see you in movement. Yeah. Like, when you see somebody cutting through the crowd, always working, it's not them that's taking a picture, but I have seen those guys that ask everybody for photos, and I think that's just a no-no when you're working a job, asking people for photos. I met Beyonce and Jay-Z at Live, and though I wanted to so bad, these are my childhood favorites. Yes, the reality is, hey man, you just gotta, hey man, y'all have a nice night.
Keep it in the memory,
That's it. You take a picture with your eyes.
Listen, we're all human here. We're gonna have some childhood favorite we're gonna get starstruck by. I can't remember who I got starstruck by at one point. I can't remember. But it was somebody, a long time ago.
It's happened.
But it's happened. But I learned to just keep it as a memory in my head. Like, damn, I remember that. And that was like in the beginning of my career when I just started really seeing celebrities, or being around them, and actually communicating with them and talking to them. Like, you actually build a rapport. Then it comes to like a different level. Yeah.
So can you drink as a bodyguard? Once you
job?
get off? No. Once you get off, you drink and y'all ain't getting up till 6 in the morning.
No. If you're still, I call that you're still active. You're still, if you still set up to where you have to go with that client the next day, hell no.
No drinking, no smoking.
No. Anything that you know that you're gonna be up, you got to be 100% proactive. That shit does not fly. You can't drink, don't smoke, none of that shit.
Do you still work out on tour, or you keep it sit-ups, push-ups?
Let me tell you the story of that. That shit was tough, man. I almost got to 300 pounds working. Doing tours.
How much you sitting at right now?
280.
Okay, wow.
Yeah,
You're 280 right now.
280.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 280.
Wow.
My first tour, it was for 3 months. It was 90 days. Actually, it was more than that because we did the U.S. tour, which was 90 days, and then we did a European tour right after. So let's just put it this way. Working out, for me, working out on tour, it was expensive because, first of all, you don't have a gym membership everywhere you go, in every city. So, but I was so dedicated, so I knew my client, he'll party all night, and I knew that once he lays down, it could be like 5, 6 in the morning, he'll lay down. But I knew he was not going to get up to about 2 p.m., 3. And I would wait till we get to our next destination, obviously. But what I would do is wherever I was at, I would Google where the hell,
the way I can go work out.
I would take an Uber. I would take an Uber. I would go there. I would take a shower there. Everything felt refreshed. No, that was great, but I would notice that added up. But the time was minimal because you couldn't be that far. You couldn't be that long away from because if something happened, you know what I'm saying? So I would do in these little times. I would sacrifice maybe 2-3 hours of sleep that I can get extra, but I would take that and go work out.
So what would you think if, like, realistically with pricing, right? As a bodyguard, like we charge, I started like 100 for bodyguards, right?
Yeah.
Starting with pricing that high, like a lot of people gonna want to bring your prices down. They're gonna want 50, 60. The reality is we charge what we charge because of insurance, because of experience, and because we like to be realistic with accommodating our guys. Sometimes you send guys up the road, they need to eat, they need this, they need per diem. So we want to make sure everybody's squared away and that there's enough money in the budget. Realistically, as a bodyguard, when you first got started, what were you charging?
Jesus Christ. Bro, I don't even want to talk about how much. Listen, listen, I'm going to tell you like this. When I first got started, I don't wish that upon anybody. I was just trying to get my foot through the door. So I wasn't educated on pricing and insurance and all that stuff at that time of my career in the beginning. So I can't count that. But as far as now, I don't really want to. I feel like I can't really discuss numbers like that. But I would advise guys that's getting offered these jobs to not go so high because, like you said, they don't know the overhead of the insurance. They don't know how much, First of all, they don't know how much we're paying on insurance. They don't know that, hey, dog, you really have an overhead on it. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to just be giving you free damn clients. Dog.
Yeah, no. Guys be like, oh, you charged 100?
So
I need 110. It's like, come on, bro. Like, be realistic.
No. I don't think any, listen, okay. If you find a client on your own and you charge $100 an hour, you get that. But if I got a client and I'm telling you, this is how much it is, and they tell me, no, I usually do $100 an hour. Yeah, that's when you get your own. When you get your own.
Right now, you're a free agent.
Yeah, you're a free agent.
This is work.
And there's a middleman involved.
I'm calling you with thousands of dollars. Do you want the job? Man. That's how I really feel.
Yes, and that's, I think, like I said, it's not like that in every state. I think it's like that in the big states, like the big cities, like Miami,
L.A.,
New York is crazy.
New York.
New York, I can't get nobody under 1,000.
They were like just like that straight.
I don't even talk to nobody in New York no more because every time I call, they asking for 1,000. Mm-hmm. And
it's cheaper to fly somebody from another region to bring them up there.
Yeah, it is. It is. And sometimes you got to do that. And what I do, my strategy is this, especially when I have clients that call me on the regular. Mm-hmm. I weed them out of going to this city and asking for a guard in that city or going to that city. No, I said, look,
just bring them
let's
with
get you with one client, the one guard, build a bond with that guard, and you fly him out, and that person learns the way you move. Instead, you keep finding these people, and they're like, oh, I didn't like this guard. Now let's get another. No,
keep the
you
dude.
find one, you stick to that one, and you invest in that one. You know, so that's my strategy, and it's working right now. So, like I said, like I got one of my guys right now. He's flying out. He's going to LA tomorrow. You know, I got guys in LA, but like I said, I set it up to where it built that relationship.
That's a curated experience.
Yes,
you getting the same guy every single time. You know him, he know you. It's like a relationship.
Yeah, and I understand like some clients they're just hard headed. They're not gonna do it, and you just gotta improvise from that. But I always advise them to build a relationship with one guard, and that shit can go far. Can go far as hell. And that's what I go.
Where is there anywhere on the international side that you travel? Because I know you went on the world tour.
Yeah.
Like, is there anywhere would you would say that was a little bit more dangerous than the other? Any one spot you could pick out?
Yeah. Damn, bro, I've been everywhere. Europe wasn't really that. Oh yeah. No, yeah, because we were pretty. We had a tight crew when we were in Europe. Colombia is pretty fucking dangerous.
Really?
Yeah, Colombia is pretty. I had like I don't want to say like a mid-grade client, but he wasn't like big time like that. It was just like a regular guy. He just wanted to go there and just wanted to have somebody overlook him, which I was kind of shocked because I'm like, bro, you know I don't speak Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I would advise you to have like a Latin guard to go down there with you, but he wanted me for some reason. It's dangerous down there, man. You really got to watch everything around there. Medellin. There, Jamaica's dangerous, bro. Like
Jamaica, they kidnap people in Jamaica. I heard.
Jamaica was dangerous, bro. Jamaica was dangerous.
Now, how's that moving for you? Because like here, you can carry guns. In Jamaica, you can't.
Well, let's just put it this way. When I'm working, I'm super stressed. I know you know about, and I learned this in the academy. And let me know if I'm wrong, because it's been a long time. You know, you got two different types of stress. It's ill stress and distress. Ill stress is the good stress. I didn't even know there was a good stress. You know
help you perform.
Yeah. So I will be super stressed when I'm working. And then when I go places where I couldn't carry, like New York, fucking LA, dog. I hate LA. I'm super stressed, dog. I'm super stressed. I would be just very alert, very, very attentive, very aware.
Yeah, when you have a gun, it's like you plus 17 guys.
You know, like, okay, I'm going to go out with a blast. We getting out of here some way.
Ain't nobody just coming taking that.
Yeah. But when you know that, especially when you know that people recognize your client, and then you're still walking, it could be a mall, and they recognize them. And it's not that type of fan. It's that type of person, like,
we gonna hurt
he's looking
somebody.
at what you got, He's looking at who you with,
Especially like in Jamaica, you say you overcross seas, man. It's like,
and we went to Kingston and shit, which I was like, what the fuck? Other parts of the island was nice, but fucking Kingston was kind of crazy.
A lot of people close up.
Yeah, a lot of people close up. It's they're a little they're very aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Very aggressive. They talk very, very heavy, very aggressive. But everywhere else was okay. But yeah, I want to say London. You got to be careful in London. Where you go in London, it can get a little bit crazy over there. They don't have guns over there, but bro, they got them knife games on point.
Yeah. They'll jump you, no problem.
Shit.
Really?
They do. They have some shit where they say they throw acid in your face and some
shit.
Yeah.
I have heard of that. That's crazy.
So yeah.
And where do you see, like, security has been pretty much the same since like biblical times. You know, you got guys with you that, you know, they watching what you can't watch. Where do you see security at this point moving forward to? Like, do you think it's going to get to the point where people got robots out here? Do you think that people will stop using bodyguards and start using something else, which I don't know what that is. I think it's always going to be a necessity.
Yeah, once the technology gets right, man, it's going to cut the pay and cost. Having I call him a cyborg, you know,
somebody that you plug in.
Yeah, somebody that you plug in that's on point, that can doesn't get tired, doesn't go to sleep, doesn't need no rest or anything like that.
No nourishment, that just plug in
24 hours and just be on point, on guard, and be very precise with his combat skills, shooting, you know. Yeah, I think I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon.
We gonna be old by then, so
I'll be out of the game. Hopefully, I'm sitting on some meals. You know, I play this game right.
Speaking of out the game, like, when is a good time for a bodyguard to retire? Because I see a lot of cats that look old, like they can barely move, and they still out there working.
I look at it like this: to each his own. But I'm gonna say, for me, I don't want to be that person with gray hair and body aching. Like, listen, bro, I already hit 40. You know what I'm saying? I feel it. I feel
your body feel different.
I feel it. I feel the aches from staying up late at night. You know, standing for hours now. You know, it used to not bother me, but standing for hours and hours, and then, you know, getting up early. You know, I feel all that shit. And then if you get into a situation like a brawl or whatever,
you're gonna be hurt for the next 3 months.
You gonna feel that shit, dog. You know, you're gonna start feeling shit like, damn, I don't remember landing on my knee, but why the fuck is my knee fucked up? You start feeling that shit. You don't repair as quick. You don't recover as quick as you used to.
Well, that's why a lot of guys get into taking like HGH or some type of light steroid, because your body, like, that's what I said about football players. Like, even, you know, some of the biggest guys, I don't want to mention no names, but there's no way you're going to be getting hit in your 40s or late 30s and then getting up and going back, playing back-to-back games.
Hell no.
Baseball can't even do it.
I mean, you know, even football, that's being only, 15 games with the Super Bowl and everything. Bro, I'm looking at basketball being, 80 games?
All that running.
All that every other down. There's no way. No, there's no way. You know, I already know that there's something going on. Listen, but to each his own, bro. If you can make it happen and you're investing like that, like, I mean, I heard that LeBron invests $1 million a year in his body.
I believe it.
And look at the results, and look how he's still playing with these little 18, 19-year-old guys and still beating them out.
And still beating them. You know, you know, that's the big thing. So, like, as you go down your path in bodyguarding and everything, like, to stay fresh, like, man, you were telling me earlier before we got started, you got like a 16-hour day coming up.
Oh, yeah.
And I think about that. The last time that I worked on a post 16 hours, we were guarding jewelry all night, and you could not go to sleep.
Yeah.
And people were coming in every 30 minutes. We had to do checks because their fear was that somebody's going to break in through the roof and take a helicopter, and it was like $40 million in jewelry. And I just remember that night, because I remember the lights was real bright all night. There was no dark spots in it. They didn't want you on your phone. You couldn't take any pictures. They bought you food like every hour or whatever, but you had to really be on post. And I'm like,
yeah, those are some brutal moments, but that's just the sacrifice that comes with the job, especially when you're running a business and you got to sacrifice stuff like that.
1,000%.
Yeah, I can bitch and moan, but I'm like, yeah, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm mentally prepared for it. Physically, I might be like, damn, bro, I'm beat up. Mentally, as long as that mental is there, bro, I'm mentally prepared for that. I know what I got to do. I know what the job entails. Hey, I can't cry about it. I got to just get it done. You know? So for a lot of you guys that's out there not thinking that y'all not going to have, you know, I know basically it's like this. When there's guys that, you know, we give them these jobs, right? Like 4 or 6 hours. You know what I'm saying? So and then they make a good amount of money. So they never really been through the mud. So when they get a client, let's say they get a client on their own, or let's say that client wants to be with them sign a contract with them or whatever. Remember I told you that, no, I didn't tell you about that. But there's going to be a point to where they're going to have to do those long hours. It's not going to be no every day you're going to just be there 5 or 6 hours. No, bro. You're going to be...
You locked in.
You locked in, bro. I had this one client. I love this client, man, but it was this Jewish guy. Real good guy. Businessman. Always on 3 phones, moving around. I locked it in. I got him full time. You know, and at that point, I needed somebody full time, so I couldn't put nobody else on. I needed that, so I put him on, and man, boy, when I say, I thought it was gonna be like easy, like a 9 to 5 kind of thing, because they was like, he's an old guy.
He was moving.
Man, this man had like an itinerary every day. He had like, bro, you wake up at 9. And even if he go to sleep at 3, 4 in the morning, boom, he up at 9.
Back up, yeah.
So I'm like, what the hell? And
Dealing with an insomnia.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, he had that. And he had like multiple businesses, so there was times that, I had to drive one of his fancy cars. You got to think, bro, when you tired and you becoming, delusional because you're so tired, bro, that gets scary, bro. And I've had those moments, and when the moments come like that, bro, you got to tell that client, like, hey, we got to slow down a bit, or you got to let me sleep in more.
Something.
Yeah, because something's going to happen, and I'm not on point, and now I don't feel comfortable. I used to be that person that wouldn't sit. I would just thug it out till the client notices.
You'll break down inevitably.
The client actually noticed. He was like, hey, bro, just take tomorrow off. Because he saw it. I was trying to fight through it. He was seeing me going in and out, driving. He was like, oh, hell no.
But that job is serious, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't understand. Like, I've went and slept in, like, almost camping outside in the snow, dealing with a job. What I'm gonna say, nobody could come. It was only me that was available. Yeah. I stayed out there a full 24 hours. No shower, no nothing, just locked in. So, and I remember we were doing the job, we were holding the perimeter for a client, but I had to be there to manage. We had like 150 guys out there. Yeah. So you look at deals like that, it's like, yeah, it's not going to happen all the time, but you got to be ready for that if you're going to be a business owner. Yes. A lot of people want to jump in that fire, and then they get baptized. Yeah. And, they don't want to be a business no more. It's too hard. But man, Kev, I really enjoyed the talk. Man, I appreciate you for inviting us on your platform, and I appreciate you coming here, being on our platform. As always, if you looking to follow Kevin, make sure to look him up, House of Fain with an F. And you can reach us at 844-254-8273 for security guard services nationwide, or www.fastguardservice.com. That's going to be it for us here at Fast Guard News. We'll see you guys next time.
There you go. Smooth.